Hi, I'm Cullen Omori. I'm from Chicago, born and raised, north side of Chicago. I played a show last night in London. I'm here for about 2 weeks, and tonight I have to go across the border to go play in Paris tomorrow. So that's what's up. Yeah, so my mom is Irish and my dad's Japanese. They're all, but like they're second generation American, maybe third, no, second generation. And so like, yeah, it's like weird because my name is like literally my nationality, because Cullen's like an Irish name and Omori is a Japanese name. And I guess the etymology of like Cullen is like either like good looking guy, like good looking lad, or it could be good looking dog, like little puppy. I don't know. I think one of those two. And then Omori means like a big forest. So my name kind of means like a big forest full of hot guys, or like a full forest full of little dogs. So either way, pretty sick name, right? I think when I was like 15 or something, we were like right when like you could download music, but it was still kind of like hard to download, or like it wasn't that great. I didn't have an Apple product at that point. I had like a Razor phone. It was like one of those little flip guys. But I remember going and buying the CD of like Their Satanic Majesties, the Rolling Stones record. And the 2,000 Light Years from Home was like one of the songs I played a ton. And the Citadel is really good too. So I had that, like I had like the little CD of it. Oh, actually, the other time I went to Target way early on, and I remember my brother buying the Ricky Martin CD, and like we still give him shit about that. So yeah, so the narrative for the hospital thing is something that like was thrown in there and has like slowly became the narrative of the record a little bit, other than I was in another band. But like I said, like I was just, you know, in a dark space writing the record, like kind of like whenever I felt like it, and just getting fucked up in my house. And I would, my friend had worked for his dad at this like medical supply company that would go service hospitals, and he had some like spillover work that like, you know, someone needed to do. And so we went through these hospitals and tagged the stretchers and the wheelchairs, and then you clean down the stretchers, and you would spend, I don't know, we spent maybe like 5 weeks doing it, but we'd have to go in at different times. We'd have to go at 2 o'clock in the morning to the ER because the ER is always busy. So in order to clean the stretchers in the ER, you have to go there like at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't like I was spraying it down with like a hose. It was just really medical grade Lysol wipes, and you just wipe it down, and there's just like all this dust and shit and like blood on it. And that was fun. I mean, it was therapeutic in a way, you know. It was my first real job I've had in a long time, because I was usually able to get by playing music. I can play a guitar. I don't know what I do, you know. Janitor, custodian for like a museum, train conductor. I don't know.
Quite specific.
Yeah. I think my bedroom, wherever that is, usually it's in Chicago right now, but I think my bedroom is really like kind of like there's a certain like kind of like sanctity to it, you know, where it's like it's private and it's nice, and you spend a lot of time in there sleeping, you know, so it's got to have. And also I spend time writing music in there. Like I'll write guitar in the bedroom. I don't have a TV in there because if I had a TV in there, I'd never leave. But like, but I also have computers, so no. Well, you know. Anyway, the bedroom is probably my favorite place. You know.
Is it messy?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty messy, but not like gross messy. It's not like, you know, like old underwear all over the floor and like snacks. I had an ant problem in my bedroom, and like I would eat all these snacks in bed, and then like have like my like little tea cup down there, and there's all these ants in it, so I had to stop eating in bed. I think it's being able to turn it on stage after being in the car for a long time, or being away from things you would like to do. I mean, I love playing music, and I think that's like, it's not that I'm complaining about it, it's just like, I think when you perform, you gotta remember that like people are paying to see you perform, and people are like, you know, want to experience, and you got to give it to them, regardless of how like you might feel while on tour or whatever, you know. And that's something that I've learned over time, because I've given some really shitty performances, and you got to learn from it, you know. I've been listening to. I just bought that Ultravox album with Vienna on it. I don't know if it's called Vienna. It's the white one with like the dudes on it. Like that a lot. I've been listening to a lot of what's another good album? I've been listening. I actually know I haven't been listening to a lot of NXS. I really like NXS, but like I'm not a huge fan of any one of their records. I'm just more into their songs. I don't know. Yeah, the Ultravox record I would recommend. Recommend my record, New Misery. I think that's a real good one. You should check out. And fuck. There's got to be one more. I'm thinking of like my Spotify thing and what I've been listening to. Oh, I've been listening to my friend's new album that's not out yet, but it's coming out as Fatal Jams. This is a guy from LA. It's really cool. It's like a total like. He's weird, but like he's like also like there's something about him that's like kind of like reminiscent of like a different like time of music. He's such a rock star when like the idea of like not like rock star in a douchey way, but it's like in a way that they don't have anymore in indie music, because like the indie frontman's always supposed to be like a politician, like the guy that like, you know, shakes the hands and drinks. Like I can get a beer with that guy, you know. And so this guy's like totally different of that. It's awesome. Is it lonely on your own? My favorite book. I just finished reading the autobiography for Al Jorgensen from Ministry. That book's amazing. It's so funny. Like all his stories and like his whole crazy like junkie like coke thing, like speedball guy, and it's amazing. I think that book is so good. And before I didn't really appreciate Ministry music that much, and then got me kind of like listening to it more and more. And like the whole thing about it's awesome. Like all his stories are amazing. Like every 15 pages I would have to like laugh out loud, which I never do in a book. You know, like I'd be like, oh, ha, 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 like this is so funny. Like, but he's got like so many good like fucked up stories and like just like crazy antics, and like it just seems like to like live as like an alternative band that was popular in the early 90s would be so sick, you know? Like that whole like with like the Butthole Surfers and them, and like early Lollapalooza, you know, it'd be so cool. It'd be such a cool thing, you know? And there was like money actually around too, so like you could actually could live your life. You know? Yeah, I don't know that I'd have to I'd have to stop playing music and get a real job, maybe. Like that would suck. I feel like I've been able to kind of like fake it till I make it so far. I'm still faking it, I haven't made it, but I think that like that's like my fear, is having to like stop, because I've been pretty lucky so far to kind of get away doing my thing, you know. This is cool.
Mine was prepared. I know what yours was.
Well, you know what? I used to be a fishmonger, and I actually enjoyed that job. I actually, it was my first job. I was on £3.20 an hour, and like, I think it actually taught me a few things. I want to say that was my worst job. Like,
I mean, it's a pretty hard lesson to stink a fish as a teenager.
It is a bit.
That's a hard lesson.